The Wire, an HBO original presentation, is a show about the streets of Baltimore, Maryland, and how the police department is on a constant battle against drugs and murder. This presentation will analyze The Wire Season 1 in the form of biographical criticism, point of views, and characterization. The Wire was created by David Simon. Now, to begin, David worked as a Baltimore crime reporter before he became the writer and producer he is today. This makes him a great candidate for the show. As you know now, it takes place in Baltimore. This gives the show a more personal feel, given David's background as a crime reporter in Baltimore. Murder often doesn't unsettle a man. In Baltimore, it usually doesn't even ruin his day. This explains that citizens of Baltimore are numb to the murders and other crimes in their neighborhood, that for them, it's just another day. In The Wire, you're given multiple points of views. In a nutshell, you'll see both sides of the law, the criminal aspect and the police investigational side. The drug dealers have found multiple ways to remain off the radar by using beepers and payphones as their main forms of communication with each other. The detectives assigned to take down the head honcho, Avon Barksdale, have found this out due to surveillance and assistance from an informant by the name of Bubbles. After exhausting all other forms in order to crack this case, the task force were granted wiretaps on both the beepers and the payphones. The Wire explores various personalities and characters. Wallace, played by a young Michael B. Jordan, is a young dealer who is struggling with living the drug dealing lifestyle after seeing the aftermath of a gruesome murder which he feels responsible for. In the show, the closest person to being the protagonist is homicide detective Jimmy McNulty, a hard-boiled detective whose personal life is a mess as he's fighting for his marriage to survive due to infidelity and alcoholic tendencies. But when it comes to police work, McNulty stands by doing the right thing for the citizens and attempting to solve murder cases. He is often met with criticism and restriction from his immediate supervisors, causing him to constantly go over his chain of command and gather resources for his various cases. Officer Herc and Officer Carver are the ones who always seem to get the shorter end of the stick in the cases that they are involved in. They feel as though they're not getting the respect that they deserve. They're constantly getting stuck with less desired details and feel as though they could be used more efficiently. These two struggle to constantly do the right thing. Bubbles, shown in the bottom right, is the junkie/informant of the series. As the season progresses, it's evident that he wants to make an honest living and leave the drugs behind, but it proves to be difficult as the streets of Baltimore seem to have a firm grasp on him. Omar, bottom left, is more of the anti-hero of the series. He's taken upon himself to rob stash houses of their drugs and money. Stealing from the drug dealers and giving back to those in need, Omar is the modern-day Robin Hood that will not hesitate to leave a drug dealer dead on his tracks, literally. Not only is Omar feared by many, but he is also admired as well, including by children. In the end, the detectives are able to put two of the antagonists behind bars. But the detectives know the job is not finished as they wanted to bring additional charges to others involved. Due to political agendas, the task force is shut down and the detectives take separate career routes. I find this to be a great series and put this presentation together with minimum spoilers as possible, and will recommend to anyone who hasn't seen it, as it depicts a great example of detective work by displaying multiple detective styles. The drug use and drug dealing is a social concern many communities face today. The Wire is a show that isn't too far from mirroring real-life issues, from the drugs, the violence, as well as police brutality.